Ladies and gentlemen, we've officially reached the mid-season, not finale, but we've reached the mid-season of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. So I wanted to do kind of a catch-up sort of video. I work in corporate, I have one-on-ones, you know what I mean? I wanted to do a bit of a mid-season review to let you know how we're doing before the annual review. Do you feel me? You know what I mean? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever said on a video, but I just wanted to make this all about how I'm feeling about the season so far, or the series, or whatever, because we don't know if it's going to get more than one. I don't think it's gonna. But regardless, it's been on my mind, so I wanted to go back to the roots, the way this channel really started off, and talk off the cuff. No real crazy edits in this video, just have a more relaxed conversation about the show so far. Because I have to be honest, I'm eating my words harder than I have ever in the past, because this show, I genuinely think, could easily be the best season The Walking Dead's ever had. And I know it's a little too soon to tell. We still have 3 more episodes to go to really solidify that. But if I'm going off of what I've seen already, man, this is something different. This is what The Walking Dead has always needed to be. And as some of you may know, I've always been a very, very big fan of the comics, to the point where I really find the comic story to be much better than the actual AMC show. Even though I think the AMC show has done things better than the comics, and vice versa. If you guys have been with the channel long enough, you know how I feel. You know I'm a big fan of the comics, but this is just exactly what we needed. And I don't know if this is because Rick or Andrew Lincoln is back in the story. I don't know if it's because just the writing is better in the budget. I don't know what it is, but just, and I mean, I kind of do, but everything about this show works. Everything. There isn't one thing so far that I have like a major flaw for, in this season. There really isn't anything. Like, when it comes to things like Fear the Walking Dead, regular The Walking Dead, especially World Beyond, and some of those other spin-offs, I've had a lot to say. I can't really find anything with this show other than really small nitpicks where in order for me to even bring them up in a video, it's like I'm really just shooting and aiming. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this show has been. It's just been that good. From episode 1, where we finally got to see what was up with Rick Grimes, to episode 2 with Michonne, to episode 3, which I actually think was the best of the ones we've seen so far, there wasn't a dull moment. I'm really liking the story because I'm sure, just like you, had many preconceived notions for what this show should be and what it needed to be for me to be happy. I had a lot of that. And it has answered, it's lived up to, and it's far exceeded what I initially thought this show was going to be. And yes, there are certain things like the reunion of Rick and Michonne where it wasn't really exactly what I wanted in my head, so it didn't like scratch the itch, and I said that in one of my earlier videos, but even though it didn't, it beat my expectation and scratched the itch in a different way I didn't even know was imaginable. That's how I feel about this show. And I understand online there's some people saying a ton of stuff that they don't like the way Rick's being written, kind of like he's being written like Jon Snow, where he's just sitting back and be like, she's my queen. Like, not exactly that, but you know what I mean? Like, he's like being a little too woke or whatever. That's been a common theme online, but I genuinely don't understand that argument. I think the story they've told is believable and makes sense given the circumstances. I think they've done a very good job in the limited amount of time that they have to set that up. I think they've really made everything they could believable here. From all of the characters we've gotten, like Okafor, Thorn, Nat, even King Batch and those people, to the settings, to Jadis and like how we feel about her, to Rick and his circumstance. Everything feels believable in the very short amount of time we've got to believe. Believe a little bit longer, so they say. Ridiculous. But whatever. I genuinely think everything is working. This is seriously a bravo Scott Gimple sort of moment. And I think that's the case too, because they've had so much time to hash out this story. It's gone through many iterations. It's gone, of course, through the movies. It's gone through pushbacks and things like that. It went through the lockdowns. There was a lot of time spent on ironing this story out. And I think that time was really, really well spent because, again, everything just works here. It really does. And I know I keep saying it on repeat, but I guess the point is I'm just flabbergasted by all that we've got. I truly am. I think this is just, it's something special. And I'm not someone who thinks we need to have a season 2 to, solidify anything. I actually think if they do this as a miniseries and they tell a good story in it, I think that's fine. Quite the only thing with that is I don't know exactly how they're going to wrap up the show with only 3 episodes left. Like, there's a lot that we have that I feel like they didn't explore, like Major General Beale, the summit, which I'm sure we're going to get in these next couple episodes, the rift between Rick and Michonne finally being resolved. I'm sure that's going to happen in episode 4, but also, like, are they going to reunite with Rick? Are they going to reunite with Daryl, Judith, RJ, all of those people? Are they going to do that? Like, yes, 3 episodes, given the pacing that the show's already had, should give it enough time to do that. But I feel like those are a lot of loaded things that they have to do by the end of this season. And are we going to get all of that? I genuinely don't know. But at this point, I don't think I'd put it past them to do it. I think they're going to wrap this thing up. And I could be wrong because also there has been things out there like advertisements online saying if you want to be in production for the next season of The Ones Who Live, like things like that have happened. So maybe we're going to get more, but I could see it going both ways. Just being completely honest, it could either be one of those things where this is it, or they keep going. I want it to be done. I really do. I want 6 banger episodes and at least this central story to be pretty much complete. And if that means we have to lose someone, I'm okay with that personally. Denai Guerrera and Andrew Lincoln are both very busy individuals outside of the world of The Walking Dead. They're probably sick and tired of The Walking Dead. As much as they talk in press how much they like it and all of that stuff, they probably want to move on with their lives. And I'm sure for Andrew Lincoln, it was nice to be back and all of that stuff. But they've been in these roles for a long time. And I think one or both of them are ready to move on. And that's okay. That's okay. At this point, you know what I mean? They've deviated so far from the comics, even though they're, even with this show, keeping things from there, like the spirit of it and the heart of it. They're keeping those things there. But at this point, they've deviated so far from the source material that this is kind of free reign. And a long time ago, that used to really freak me out and make me say, I don't want to see any Walking Dead spin-offs. But now I actually trust the writers. I genuinely do. I think they've done an excellent job proving that with the right budget, the right people in charge, the right writers, and the right story in general, they could do something truly magnificent. At this point, I'm okay with whatever happens. I think they're going to give the fans what they truly deserved all along. Genuinely do. And if that means we have to lose someone, I'm okay with that. This is a gore, a zombie show. This isn't just a regular show, like a comedy. There are stakes. There's tragic things that happen in this world. It's just at this point, I really am just proud of everything they've done. I know that's crazy, but it's true. It's just, I don't know. There's so much going into these next 3 episodes that I want to see. I want to see Rick and Michonne actually hash things out and Rick finally address things for what they should be. Righteously, Michonne has no idea. They've survived a lot together, so I'm sure in her head it's like, well, what's the big deal? It's just a group of people. Like, she doesn't know the stakes, and Rick needs to explain those stakes to her. I really hope we get a lot of that next episode in episode 4. I've heard online that episode 4 is a very good episode. And if that's the case, that's crazy because it has fully topped the charts. Every episode has been like at least a 9 out of 10 for me. And I know on IMDb it's that way too. And in general, like, I don't know how much better this could get. I'm just being honest. I don't understand, and it's okay, we're allowed to have different opinions, but I actually don't understand how people aren't liking this. I think a lot of people are, but I've also seen some discourse online that people aren't. I don't know. Again, that's why there's different flavors of ice cream. Not everyone has to like the same thing, but man, I think this is genuinely fantastic. I'm so excited for these back 3. And I want to know from you, how do you think these first 3 episodes have been so far? Definitely be sure to let me know down in the comments. And with that all out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video. I'll see you back for the episode 4 review and reaction on Jerry's Reacts, or the full reaction on my Patreon as well. Oh, and a big shout out to all of the patrons who are supporting me directly. I'm going to put them here on screen. Your contributions to the channel are helping fund future projects for this channel directly. It really doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much. There is so much in store on there, like my Walking Dead rewatches. They're going to be full live commentaries for certain episodes, not all of them, and so much more. Thank you again. Your support means the world. With all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video, and until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.